Good morning, everybody. My name's Dave Whipple, and you're watching Bush Radical. By the time you see this video, I probably already have put out my review of the T Wright Genesis. But in the process of kind of getting used to this knife, I've realized that the handle is something that I need to change. Let me show you what I mean. See this area right here? That's the thumb scallop. That's carved out. And it's supposed to be, you know, your thumb rests in that area. Originally, you can see that I've carved these areas down a bit. They're a little bit different color. There used to be a hard point right here. What I found is that the edge of my thumb was always, I could just feel it. You can see that this was kind of a dog bone shape. Like it comes out here and then it came out up here. And the sharper of the 2 points was right here, but I also feel this nub area on my thumb all the time. And this area down here, it seems like my thumb wants to be closer into the knife, and it's being pushed out by this area right here. They removed material right here for your thumb. That's like the trademark design of the T Wright Genesis handle. But what I found out is this felt like where the handle should be, and these areas that weren't carved out, they almost felt like they were added on to the handle, and they seem to be in my way. This area is still keeping my thumb out of the place it naturally wants to rest, so I'm going to take this down right now. You can shave this micarta off just with another knife. It's just canvas and resin. And then once you get it about where you want it, a little bit of sandpaper, and you know you can clean that up. My hand is already so much happier with where my thumb is sitting. The whole handle feels great. But when I got up towards this end of the handle and I really would choke up on it, all of these protruding areas were really calling attention to themselves. It felt like areas that did not have to be there, and they were kind of in the way of where my hand naturally wanted to sit. Where this was bumped out, now it's more tucked in. Where these 2 points were, where the handle met the curve, those points are gone now. This handle's probably a little more on the conventional side now, but boy, it feels so much better in my hand. It's a night and day difference, and I haven't even sanded or done any of the final shaping. I've just removed areas that I felt were sticking out beyond what they should have been, in my opinion. One other thing, I've taken this area right here and I've rounded it off just a little bit with a file. There's a good look at that area. As you can see, this side's got a sharp edge from where they ground this area out. All I'm doing is just smoothing off the other side. This area that actually touches the edge of the meat of your hand, I just wanted that a little bit more rounded off. See, that thumb scallop has almost disappeared on this knife. I mean, it's still there. There's still a little bit of it, but I've removed most of the area that protruded above that thumb scallop, and to me that is a huge improvement comfort wise. Take a good look at the handle modification. I'm going to sand that up a little bit, and I think it's going to be just what I want, and I'm totally happy with it now. That is so much better. I know there's people out there that are going to look at this and be like, that's sacrilege, that's blasphemy. You take a really good knife like this and then change it. A knife is the extension of the person that's using it. And if there's a hiccup between where the person ends and where the knife begins, if there's something in that junction that is a problem, it needs to be addressed. And this handle was really bothering me. The end profile was a dog bone shape, and it was bumping my grip right at the junction of the end of my grip and the blade. I'm feeling these bumps. I'm feeling the sharp points. I'm feeling where it's keeping my hand pushed out away from the blade. And that had to be taken care of. Now, is that a problem with T Wright knives? Absolutely not. Loads and loads and loads of people love this handle. People rave about how comfortable this handle is. From my perspective, I'm exceedingly fussy about handle ergonomics. The reason being, a lot of you guys know this already, by profession, I'm a cement finisher. And that means I've literally spent months and months and months out of my life with a tool, with a handled tool in my hands, working that tool. And when you spend that kind of time with a tool in your hand, you become exceedingly intimate with the grip of that tool. In a lot of ways, the handle of a tool is as important as the tool itself. Say on your average pour day, I might spend 6 hours in that day with a tool in my hand, working areas, laying the concrete down flat, working around anchor bolts, cutting in edges. It's all hand tool work. And you've got a tool in each hand generally, one to lean on a lot of times and one to use, vice versa. I'm somebody who's actually made a living with a handled tool in my hand. So tool handles, if they don't fit your hand, there's something about the fit of that handle that draws attention to itself, it needs to be corrected. It's just like a pair of shoes. You put on a pair of shoes, you shouldn't notice anything. They should conform to your feet and they should be comfortable. And a tool handle is exactly the same way. It should conform to the user. And if it doesn't, then that handle should be formed to fit the hand of the user. I'll tell you right now, I haven't done a ton with this knife. I've been carrying it for maybe 10 days now. And the quality is fantastic. The spine is the sharpest spine of any knife I've ever had. The blade is still fantastically sharp even after using it. But the handle had to change for me. Is that any knock on LT Wright whatsoever? No. Everybody loves this handle. If I don't love this handle, it's because I'm exceedingly fussy about handle fit, having spent such a large portion of my life with a handled tool working. Just my general estimation, those thumb scallops, they were only there for looks. When I actually put my fingers where they belonged in the thumb scallop, they didn't seem to benefit me at all. I couldn't see any way that I would be holding this knife actually utilizing those thumb scallops. And it felt like everything that wasn't scalloped out was kind of jumping out in the way. Having changed that handle so it's not so large right where it meets the blade, I have lost a little bit of sheath retention. It's still plenty good, but it's not what it was. But so far so good with the LT Wright Genesis. I love everything about it except this very area right here, and we've just fixed that right now. Thanks for joining me for this quick video. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell, which will give you updates of when I post videos, which I try to do quite often. Thanks for checking out this quick little video on modifying an LT Wright Genesis, and we will catch up with you guys here real soon. And of course, look for the overall review of the LT Wright Genesis, which is coming up as soon as I've got a month's worth of time on this knife. Thanks for watching, Bush Radical. Be radical, eh? See you soon.